So the NBA draft was about a month ago, and the Thunder took Derek Lively with the 12th pick. And look, I'm sure they're disappointed they missed out on Big Vic, as we all are, but I don't think they can be that disappointed because, good lord, they overachieved this year.
The Thunder have absolutely everything. They have a superstar, they got other young talent, and they got a shit ton of draft picks.
Yeah, they are way ahead of schedule. Before we start talking about the Thunder though, if you haven't already, make sure you leave this video a like, give us a subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on one of our videos. Let's start with how they got here though, because this all started on a brisk April day in 2019 in the City of Roses, where Damian Lillard, I mean, people at the time said he ended the Thunder. I think the better word in hindsight is he reset the Thunder.
Yeah, if I was the Thunder, I would thank Dame for this. Like, ever since then, their future's looking amazing. And honestly, ever since then, the Blazers' future kind of looking like shit.
Very much looking like shit.
We won the series, but did we really win that series?
We won the battle and lost the war.
Exactly.
You know what? Fair play to the Thunder because they realized that core was not going anywhere. You know, your core of Russ and Paul George was not getting you past the first round. Couldn't get you past a team that was starting Mo Harkless and Al-Farouq Aminu.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. And one of the best things about this, they really benefited from the whole trade your entire future for superstars, because the holes they got back for Paul George and Westbrook are insane.
I'll make that deal. How about you, Udovich? You make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
I see people a lot now are like, did the Thunder actually win this trade? Did the Clippers lose this trade? I'm hesitant on that because the Clippers were essentially trading all those first round picks for both Paul George and Kawhi. Like, they weren't getting Kawhi if they didn't get Paul George. That being said, they gave up Shai, who, I mean, he's a dark horse MVP candidate next year, I think. Danilo Gallinari, 5 first round picks, and 2 pick swaps for 2 guys that barely play.
5 first round picks and 2 swaps and an all-NBA first team player now. One of the brightest young stars in the league. He's already better than Paul George. So you have him, and then you just have the 5 first round picks and 2 swaps on top of that.
Yeah, you gave up an all-NBA first teamer and essentially control over your first round picks for 7 years.
Yeah, sure, Clippers fans are feeling great about that.
Yeah, they're gonna have Kawhi and Paul George playing 40 games a year in that shiny new arena.
Yeah, new arena. So. You got that going for you.
And also, I mean, they flipped Russ to the Rockets for Chris Paul, 2 first round picks and 2 pick swaps. I mean, I remember at the time I was like, that is a humongous overpay for Russ.
Well, remember the Rockets, they were hella desperate. They lost to the Warriors in 2018 in the conference finals. They lost to the Warriors in 2019 in the conference semifinals, and they were like, okay, we gotta get rid of Chris Paul. Him and Harden were kind of hating each other, bringing Russ, who's Harden's friend. And yeah, that did not work out. Chris Paul was probably the better player, and they get all the picks on top of it.
Yeah, James Harden and Chris Paul went from hating each other to James Harden and Russell Westbrook hating each other in 1 year. And they massively overachieved in 2019-20. Like, this is not the first time the Thunder have massively overachieved. They won 44 games behind Chris Paul and a breakout year from Shai. Took the Rockets to 7 in the first round of the bubble playoffs. They were the surprise team of the league this year.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be trash. I thought Chris Paul maybe was even going to get bought out or something or traded, but he played with that team. He played great, and yeah, that was shocking how good they were that year.
Now, they did kind of fall off after they traded Chris Paul.
They did, and that kind of makes sense, and to be fair, that was probably to plan, to be honest. I don't think they were trying to rebuild around like a 35-year-old Chris Paul.
What? You wouldn't do that?
No, not really.
Well, Phoenix Suns tried it.
Yeah, they did.
And look where it got them. Honestly, yeah, it was probably a good thing for the Thunder. Like, we've seen teams like the Mavericks or like the Cavs when they first got LeBron. If you rebuild too quickly and you don't let yourself get some good draft picks, I mean, not like the Thunder need them, but it can be hard to put good players around your one star. And they got, you know, Giddey, they got Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet, you know, we're going to talk about them a little bit. But honestly, the fact that they were bad for 2 years probably helped them a lot. And like, they were bad, but you could see Shai, like, he was struggling with injuries a little bit. Like, 1 year he only played 35 games, the other year he only played 56, but he was getting better and better each year.
Shai literally peaked the perfect season. Like, they have their young players, they have all these picks, they got Chet coming up, he's getting healthy, he's gonna be back next year, and then Shai just out of nowhere becomes one of the best guards in the league. Like, I did not see this whatsoever from Shai. This has been an insane year from him.
Yeah, it's been an insane year for the Thunder as a whole. Biggest overachievers in the NBA this year, if you look at win totals, even better than the Kings. The Thunder were projected to win 23.5 games this year. They won 40.
Yeah, that's crazy because the Kings were really the surprise team, but but don't overlook the Thunder. They didn't make the playoffs, but what a year.
And we've been raving about him a lot, but Shai, good Lord. I just remember we were at a bar watching the Thunder play the Blazers, and Shai like drove to the hoop, did this like step over with the ball and just dunked it with his right hand. I'm like, okay, where the fuck did this come from?
Exactly.
Like, what?
Reaching, I'm keeping my hands inside. Oh, and Shai right down the lane.
Jesus, where'd that come from?
Since when can you do that?
I don't know. Shai just went from a guy who was like a low 20s score to a game just to like a 30-point per game guy, can just take over games on a nightly basis. Like, first team All-NBA. Where did that come from? I did not see this at all. I thought his peak would be like, you know, like a borderline all-star back in the day, and now he's first team All-NBA.
Yeah, I thought his peak was a guy who in his career makes like 5 all-star teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's always just hovering kind of on the edge, kind of like a Darius Garland sort of.
Okay.
But a little bit of a better scorer. But boy, I said before, I'll say it again. He is the best money as a dark horse MVP candidate next year.
Okay.
With all the talent they got coming back and like looking forward for this team, they have everything. Jalen Williams, runner up for Rookie of the Year. They got Chet coming back next year. They locked up Lou Dort, Josh Giddey. Their top 3 scorers are all 23 or younger. They have a war chest of first round picks.
Lock and load.
And I'm just excited for my boy Chet.
Oh, brother.
Finally, we're gonna see him healthy. This dude Chet, he's the unicorn, the future prototype of the league. He can play defense. He can hit shots. He can dribble the basketball. He can score a bit. He can do everything. I mean, do you see this dude Chet in Summer League? Everyone's talking about Wembanyama, all his length. This dude Chet is reminding people why he should have been the first pick.
I mean, yeah, he's been great in Summer League. 16.5 points per game, 10 boards a game, 3.5 blocks. He's been a menace on defense.
That's the thing. Chet does not need to be the number 1 option. Probably not even the number 2 option with J-Dub there. He just needs to be a guy that gets you like 14 points a game and then just wreaks havoc on the defensive end of the court.
I mean, he shot well from the field, shot 49%. He did only shoot 9% from 3, but it's only 4 games. I mean, I'm not going to kill him for that. I think he's still got a little work to do. He needs to get stronger. He needs to get his jumper right, maybe cut down on his turnovers, but he's going to be a damn good player.
Yeah, he is. And he has gotten stronger. He's gotten bigger. He put on 13 pounds. So I love what I've seen from Chet this offseason. And you pair him with Shai and Jalen Williams and all these picks. You can trade for another superstar. You can sign a superstar. They have all the options.
They have cap space too.
Exactly.
Like, even with their draft picks, say they pay their draft pick like $4 million a year, they're probably going to have $25-30 million in cap space.
Literally the only negative is they're in Oklahoma City.
Jesus.
Which, to be fair, is a big negative for a franchise. But with the culture they're building, I don't think it's going to be hard to attract a superstar that wants to win.
I was going to say another negative is they're in our division. We have to play them 4 times each year.
Well, that's a negative for the Blazers, not a negative for them.
It's honestly a positive for them.
Yeah,
they get
it's
to play
a huge positive.
They get to play the Blazers 4 times a year. Too early to call them the next dynasty, though. I mean, they haven't even made the playoffs yet. But what, like a potential dynasty? How about that?
I think so, but I want to see it happen.
Well, yeah,
because
obviously.
We got tricked big time with the last Thunder team, the 2012. You know, they made the finals. They had KD, they had Russ, they had Harden. They had no reason to not win multiple championships, and they never got back to the finals.
Yeah, not only did they not win multiple championships, they didn't even make the finals more than once.
So I want to see the Thunder actually put it together this time. Do not trade a future MVP again, and then I'll believe in them. But I want to see a bit more before I call them a future dynasty.
We were talking about that salary cap space they have. I mean, they could use veteran presence. Bring back James Harden.
Bring back all of them. You start with Harden this offseason. Then when KD's done with the Suns, you bring him in. And then you get Russ off the bench. Make it happen. Those dudes can hoist up the trophy. Be beautiful to see.
That's the video, guys. What do you think the future holds for the Oklahoma City Thunder? I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving it a like, as it really does help us out. And while you're here, why not check out some of our other videos as well? And don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.